And this is how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome into a live recording of our stadium hit show, the Coach and Bro Show. We do two different shows a week. This one airs on the Stadium Network in over 100 million homes on Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV, LG, Vizio. The list goes on and on. So it's a little bit different than what we do on Thursday. So a little bit of housekeeping before we start the show. So I got to bring in my main man, my partner from russosbrand.com, the one and only Vince Russo. Vince, how was your weekend, sir?
Well, Coach, listen, my weekend was very, very busy. Coach, listen, I know you got 113 gigs. My weekend may have been more busier than yours, Coach.
Really? What'd you do? Why, Vince?
Coach, after Friday night and watching that riveting SmackDown and this car accident that took place, Coach, I looked all over social media for the footage. I was on YouTube. I was on the Google. I was on Prodigy. I looked on AOL. I could not find footage of this accident anywhere. Now the police claim that everything was caught on cameras.
Okay.
What are they waiting to show us that for? Because I could not find it anywhere on social media, Coach.
So are you saying that somebody is listening to us to not show some footage on social media? Is that what you're saying, or am I confused?
You're confused, Coach.
Okay.
Coach, what I'm saying is, guys, please put some logic into what you're doing. So, Coach, here's what went down on SmackDown, and I'm still trying to put it together.
Okay.
We open up the show, and somebody crashed into Solo Sequoia's car.
Oh. Now I'm with you. Okay.
Now, Coach, they literally crashed a car. So they literally crashed a car.
Okay.
So now the next thing we know is the cops are picking up Fatu because Solo said it was Fatu. So I don't know what world Solo lives in, but Coach, I think it's pretty safe to say in 2025, there are cameras everywhere.
Okay? Everywhere.
But Solo doesn't have a clue that there's cameras all over the parking garage. So he tells them it was Fatu. The cops go and question Fatu. Okay. Then they let us know that they saw the footage and it wasn't Fatu.
Oh.
And they wind up arresting Solo Sequoia for causing the accident himself and then trying to point the finger at Fatu.
Oh, sabotage.
But the problem is, Coach, the police officers say they have the footage. They never showed us the footage, Coach. So, in other words, you wrecked a car, and we never saw the footage of Solo wrecking the car, trying to... All I'm asking for, Coach, is just give me a little bit of logic. Just a little bit of logic, Coach.
Do you know how much I have struggled watching wrestling content lately because I have Vince Russo's voice in my head every time I watch an angle or a storyline and I hear, give me some logic, give me some realism, give me something that makes sense. You've ruined it for me, Vince. You've ruined it for me.
Coach, can I say something real quick?
Of course.
I know, you and producer, man, you lay everything out and you make things so easy for me to just follow the format. But once in a while, I have to say something.
Okay.
Coach, I always find last night, my wife and I went to a concert. We saw an artist by the name of Hoser. Okay?
Hoser.
Yes,
Hoser. Okay, Hoser.
35-year-old dude. He's like Irish American. Great voice. But Coach, here's my point, and I really mean this. Whenever I go see a professional, like a professional entertainer and a professional singer, I sit there in awe because they're phenomenal. I mean, the band is phenomenal. The backup singers are phenomenal. And they put on like a 2-hour show that is flawless. They are literally superstar professionals.
100%.
I look at them and I'm like, these people are incredible. Then, coach, and I'm just being dead serious here, then I watch wrestling. And I watch just the WWE, and I'm like, they're amateurs, man. If 25% of the roster are professionals, that is a lot. The rest of them are amateurs that had hopes and dreams of one day becoming professional wrestlers. Now they are, and they're out there playing professional wrestling, not having a clue to what they're doing. And I keep saying to myself, this is supposed to be the greatest wrestling company in the freaking world. Yeah. Why do I feel like I'm watching amateurs when I watch the show?
Two things, because A, you were the greatest wrestling writer of all time, but you also worked with arguably the greatest group of superstars to ever be in the WWE at the same time. I say this all the time, Vince. There are hashtag levels to this game, and I don't care what sport you're talking about. You can tell when you see a class single A baseball player as opposed to Aaron Judge, there is a difference there. And I think right now, if you're a wrestler who wants to be a part of this business and you take it a step above what you think you should, man, there's nobody up there. There's nobody above the clouds. But yet everybody's too scared to take that next step or to throw out stuff, try stuff. I do this. Whenever I get an email right back. People say, Coach, nobody emails right back. I say, I want to be ahead of the game. Mm-hmm. I want to be out there. So people say, man, if I text Coach, he's going to text me right back. And that's the same in wrestling. Take that next step. And I think right now, not a lot of people are doing that because they're seeing the OGs, the Rollins and the Roman, all these 40-plus-year-old guys taking the spots I can never break through. Well, if that's going to be your attitude, then why are you even in the business if you don't want to break through that glass ceiling? So I think that's a lot of what you're talking about and a lot of what you're seeing. I really do. Yeah. All right, we got housekeeping. Then we got to do the stadium show and how we do it here. We have a lot of new people every single week. How do I know that? Because the numbers continue to go up every single week. So we started this new thing, Vince. It was a lot of fun. We're going to do it every Thursday to start, where people, we have it, the link, we'll put it up in the chat. We had 3 last week or 4, where people on Thursday can come onto the show on camera, talk to us, cut promos, whatever they want. They get 5 minutes. It went great day 1. We're going to do it every single Thursday. I've had more people, I kid you not, on my kids that have brought up you dealing with that 14-year-old kid than anything since you and I have been together. That was awesome.
And I'll tell you what was more awesome like that, Coach. We've been talking since then. He emails me. I email him back. Absolutely 1,000%. And I think that is absolutely terrific, man. I really do.
If you want to learn, and we've said, I literally just bit my tongue. Oh, my God. I just bit my tongue. Oh, my God.
I hate when I do that.
We tell people all the time, if you really show that you want to be in this business, and not just a fan, but like literally be in this business, we'll give you the time. But don't waste our time. And that kid took notes. Yep. He was ready. I just loved it. So we're going to do it every single Thursday. You can look on our social media. There's the link. You can sign up. We'll put it into the chat here. So you got all week to get ready for it. Also, on Mondays when we do this show, we always do these super stickers at the end. Vince, how can the people be a part of the show today?
Yeah, guys, and listen, it's important that you're a part of the show because a lot of weeks, man, almost every week, you bring something to the table, a different point of view that Coach and I weren't even looking at. We love bringing you into the conversation. You could do that through super stickers or donations. We will bring you right up on the screen. Questions, comments, however you want to view your opinion or view, let us know, man. We'll pull you into the conversation.
And also here on the Coach and Bro Show, we don't break down the segments on Raw or SmackDown. You can go to different shows for that. What we do here is the bigger stories, the business of WWE, of AEW, the wrestling business. And on this week's show, boy, we've got some interesting nuggets on the business of the WWE. So without further ado, it's time to get things started. Producer man, roll tape. Oh, another week has gone by, and yet we are still here. When all the other shows, all the other brands are just dropping off, not us. We are growing. Welcome into the Coach and Bro Show right here on the Stadium Network every single Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time and repeated on Thursday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. Over the course of the next 60 minutes, we've got a lot to talk about. The business of the WWE in theaters now. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Will Cody Rhodes turn heel? Will Roman Reigns be his babyface to walk hand in hand into the end of 2025? All that and so much more. But I can't do this show by myself. I need the greatest writer in the history of the business at my side. Now, I've had some people, Vince, I don't even know how to say this because you have gone viral for dealing with a 14-year-old fan that we have here at the show. And people said to me that you become the Simon Cowell of pro wrestling.
Well,
that's what they said.
Coach, you're going to go even more viral.
Oh, no.
Because I am going to ask you a question that we did not talk about in the pre-meeting.
Oh, I love when you do this.
I need an answer to this, Coach.
Oh, no.
Coach.
Yes.
They sent me the footage.
What footage?
The footage of Coach in thong. I saw the footage.
Thoughts?
Numerous times.
Couldn't take your eyes off of it, could you? I understand.
Well, here's what I was contemplating, and I've come to a conclusion. I want to know, do you shave your own ass or does somebody shave it for you? Because, bro, you're a grown man, Coach. You had the ass of a 3-month-old baby, Coach. Now, either you're shaving that ass yourself, and I want a picture of that. I mean, is there a mirror behind? I don't know how you're doing that, or somebody else took up the honors. Maybe a downtown Bruno, maybe. I don't know, Coach, but I never seen such a silky, smooth ass on a grown man.
Now, most people would take a little bit of offense to that, but not me. I'm going to take the compliment.
It is a compliment. It is.
I've always been told that my derriere is nice. It's kind of been a thing. I mean, over the years, I've had so many different ways for people to tell me I'm attractive. I once had the goatee of the year in People magazine.
Very nice.
Yeah, I once had a doppelganger of the 50 most beautiful people in People magazine. A lot of people thought I was him. So it does not go unnoticed by me, Vince. And I almost feel like at some point it needs to be in a big theater, not just on a wrestling show on my TV.
What a segue. Now let me say before you even get started, I'm paying $65 for that. That I'm paying $65 for.
And I'd give you the bundle. What are we talking about, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to tell you what we're talking about because we say it all the time. There has never been a dollar that TKO will not pick up off the ground. And there's a lot of layers to this. So as we were putting the show together today, we stumbled on this little thing, and WWE actually just tweeted this out a few minutes ago on their official X handle. They said WWE and Fandango, one of the big movie companies, announced today, this is on Monday, that the first ever 2-night SummerSlam taking place at MetLife Stadium in the shadows of New York City, New Jersey, will screen live in select Vince Regal cinemas across the United States. You can buy a bundle package, and get this, Vince, and this had to take a lot of convincing. If you get the bundle package for $65 to watch 2 nights, you get a free T-shirt on top of your ticket. Now, I don't know if it's a Jey Uso. I don't know if it's a Karrion Kross. I don't know if it's one of the extra ones they have laying around in the boxes. I don't know. But, Vince, there's a lot of layers to this for me because all the PLEs have been on Peacock. So how do you think the executives at Peacock, unless they're getting a cut, feel about taking SummerSlam into the theaters like we're in 1983 closed circuit one more time?
Coach, that is so interesting because I just want to talk about mainstream sports for a second here. And I know we could do that on Stadium, but this drove me absolutely nuts, Coach. And this is what it sounds like is happening. Coach, literally for about 20, 25 years, I was buying the extra inning package with my cable company, which meant I got every single Major League Baseball game every night, every single game. Well, Coach, what started happening in the last couple of years is MLB made deals with streaming services, Roku, Apple Plus, Amazon Prime. Now, all of a sudden, some of the games that were exclusive to me on the package, I'm paying about $250 for, yet no more. I can't get those games on that screen. Now I got to buy Apple and Roku and Amazon Prime.
Absolutely.
And I'm saying, you know what? If you want to do that, as far as I'm concerned, that's double dipping. Because now Major League Baseball is making money through extra innings, and now they're making money through these streaming services. I have no problem with Major League Baseball making extra money, but now you got to lower the price on my extra innings because I'm not getting the full schedule. It sounds like that is what's happening with wrestling now. I'm sure Peacock paid a nice price for the PLEs. But now you can go see it in a movie theater. Man, Coach, we're not privy to any of these contracts, but it seems between Peacock and Netflix and USA, it seems that these contracts are 100% in the favor of TKO and the WWE.
I'm so glad that you just said that because I was going to compare it to the NFL. The NFL is such a juggernaut that when they do their negotiations, they say, we're spreading it out, and whoever wants to participate, come on board. NBA, they're getting there. So NFL, they used to have the Sunday ticket, similar to your League Pass, right? And you could get all the games. And then all of a sudden, they started selling Monday night, Thursday night, which is now on Amazon. They're doing Friday games. They have a Christmas Day slate on Netflix. So now all of those games on all those different places are taking away from my Sunday ticket.
That's right.
And my Sunday ticket, do you think that price has gone down? Oh, that's on YouTube TV now because YouTube TV paid the NFL for the Sunday ticket. So now you got 8 different places involved. And it feels like to me that WWE said to Peacock, deal with it. Deal with it. You're still going to get the PLE. You're still going to get a majority of the people. Deal with it. Now, this also talks, how many times have you and I said, how can Netflix not have this into the contract X, Y, and Z? If you're Peacock and you didn't have this in a contract when you signed the deal for $200 or $300 million, that's on Peacock then.
Yeah, I mean, again, and for, you and I, Coach, being negative Nillies, hey, listen, man, you got to tip your hat to Nick Khan.
Yes.
If Nick Khan is getting these deals done and everything goes in the favor of the WWE, God bless him. You can't pay that man enough with these contracts he's signing.
You can't, especially, Vince, when it's not just about going to the theaters. When you can sell the WWE content on the same platform that Big Bang Theory, Gossip Girl from 2007, wait for it, and SWAT from 2017 is beating you in hours viewed, that's a major milestone for Nick Khan because Netflix just released their numbers. And Vince, from January to June of this year, WWE, I didn't count, but there are at least 30 shows that have more. This is it right here. So as you go down, Squid Games is insane. That's the bottom one. And then there you see WWE about halfway through. Vince, you can't tell me that Netflix, with all of the WWE content, and it's not just Raw. Around the world, it's NXT and SmackDown and Raw. And they're not even higher than that. To me, this is a major disappointment if I'm Netflix right now.
Yeah, listen, Coach, you and I, listen, we can assume we knew what the expectations were, but we really don't know. I don't know what the expectations were on Netflix. I don't know the numbers they thought it would do. I don't know how many subscribers they thought they would get. But I got to tell you, when I looked at this chart and I saw WWE sitting at 30, I can't believe for a second that's where Netflix thought the WWE. I'd have to say at least top 10, but 30. I mean, Coach, you're talking about Gilmore Girls and you're talking about Lost and Young Sheldon. These are all shows beating Raw in the watch time. And I found that absolutely incredible, Coach.
Vince, people love to make excuses, don't they? Well, it's because of this, or it's because of the newer generation likes Vince, I don't care what generation you're talking about. Lost from 2004 is beating them. House MD, which hasn't even shot an episode in 20 years,
Wow, yeah,
is beating them. The Rookie, one of my favorite shows on ABC, and then they lease out the previous seasons, that is beating them. And and if you're a Netflix executive, you may see this as a positive, because part of the reason they wanted to bring in Raw, WWE, NFL is they wanted to start a tier where they can charge for advertising. And you have to have live shows in order to do it. So in that aspect, they're leading the charge with NFL, and I think eventually it'll be more and more live content, because that's how you bring in more money on top of the subs. So maybe that's what they want, and they don't care about this number.
I still think, Coach, when you're looking at this, I don't care what anybody says. I'm always going to go back to my argument, okay? When you're looking at this and you're looking at WWE sitting at 30, you are looking at a niche audience. That is what you're looking at. And what a coach and I say over and over again. Yes, you are making boatloads and trucks full of money. What would you be making if the show were good? What would you be making if casuals were actually watching this? What would you be making if that show was in position number 10 instead of number 30? How much money are they leaving on the table because they're putting a bad product out there?
I cannot double down on that any more than what you just said. And they would have to sit down in the writer's room for Unreal, show it to me on camera, and really say, guys, it's time to dig in. Because to me, if you are, Vince, someone who says, yeah, we were wrong, or yeah, we need to do better, audiences have a tendency to lean into that. They go, hey, well, listen, these guys aren't too big for their britches. They know that maybe it's been a little bit subpar. They know it's 52 weeks a year. But Vince, if you admit, A, you made a mistake and we'll fix it, or we know our storylines have to be better, I think the audience would appreciate that.
I agree 1,000%, man, because now you're taking responsibility and now you're saying, you know what? We can do better. We can try harder. And I have to tell you, Coach, on the flip side, I think AEW is doing a little of that. I told you, I think it was on last week's show. I think Tony Khan is really starting to learn from his mistakes. I think he listened to a lot of people at the beginning, and he's starting to filter things out. And I think Tony is making some changes to make that show a little bit better. On the WWE side, on a weekly basis, I just don't see anything changing.
All right. I may have a little tease for you, Vince, because I've kind of gotten away from breaking news, because I've only been like 9 out of 10, not 10 out of 10. So I was running a little bit scared, but I'm going to throw something to you on the other side that's going to back up what you just said. We're just getting started. Still to come, is Cody Rhodes going to turn heel? Does Roman Reigns need him to turn heel? When is mental health more important than your career? We'll discuss that as well. And TNA Slammiversary, biggest show of all time, but did they fumble the ball? This is the Coach and Bro Show. There's only one right here on Stadium. All right, everybody, keep those super stickers coming in. We're going to be hitting all of them at the end of the show, but we will continue on right here and right now. Welcome back, everybody. This is the Coach and Bro Show on the Stadium Network and everywhere that you find Stadium. Coming up in about 15 minutes from right now, mental health in professional wrestling. We never talk about it. It's so important. Also, in about 30 minutes, did TNA hit a home run in Vince's old stomping grounds of Long Island on Sunday night? But Vince, there's so much going on. We are less than 2 weeks away from SummerSlam, and to be fair, there are several matches made already. Hopefully the last two go-home weeks, we're seeing a spring forward, but one main event. And I'm anxious to hear your thoughts on who's going to be the main event for both nights, even though we hate the two-night show. But you got to believe that Cody Rhodes, John Cena will be main event night number 2 this past Friday. I watched the Bro Down. Who doesn't watch the Bro Down with Vince Russo? And we find out that Cody, a little bit of a heel move, forces Cena to sign the contract, then tells him afterward, oh, and by the way, it's going to be a street fight. I ask you, are we starting to see the heel turn of Cody Rhodes?
You know, Coach, I am going to throw out a big positive here.
Give it to me.
My problem has always been from day one, Cody Rhodes is a heel. And let me explain to you why Cody Rhodes is a heel. First of all, we can go back to the days of AEW. If you watched any episode of Rhodes to the Top, him and his wife, Brandy, were two of the most unlikable people I had ever seen on TV.
I've heard that.
They were downright unlikable. Why were they unlikable, Vince? Well, for instance, at the time, Brandy was pregnant. But what seemed to me more important than her pregnancy at the time was getting back in the ring and competing as a wrestler. That was literally superseding her being pregnant. I was like, man, I hope her kid never sees this when she's about 12, 13 years old. But again, I've said this all along with Cody Rhodes. The suits, the pocket watches, the promos talking above people's heads. He always had this air about himself of being better than everybody else. He's a heel. I said that from day one. He's a heel. And Coach, who knows if they actually make that adjustment, that may be exactly what they need to turn the creative around, because I feel Cody has been miscasted as a babyface from day one. So if Cody leans into it as a heel, this may be exactly what they need.
Think about this, Vince, that for the first 2 years when he came back, it was a classic babyface, push him up a hill, push him up a hill. You got the big guy standing in his way. He doesn't win. And then finally, he wins that world championship. Think about the three major guys that he has had to deal with in the last 3 years. John Cena, Roman Reigns, and The Rock. It would be so easy to turn him heel. And then if you had somebody like yourself writing his promos, they write themselves. Guys, for years, I've been doing this for all of you. And I've taken on the greatest, the GOATs, the Mount Rushmore, not to mention Seth Rollins. But now I'm done. And that's going to be about me and my wife and my kids and and the bus and the vodka and all the stuff. Me. How easy would that be for you to write?
Oh, it would write itself, because I said that from the beginning. It would be very, very, very organic. The guy is a heel. He has presented himself as a heel from day one. So I am hoping reset. This would be a huge reset if they did the double turn, and maybe this is exactly what they need.
Well, Vince, here's the situation. I'm not going to give you names because I get crushed by our favorite dirt sheets whenever I do. But I'm going to give you a little nugget that I got from one of my sources the other day that could hinder them with Cody Rhodes and the creativity. Okay. So you mentioned in our last segment that you feel like Tony Khan and AEW is really starting to listen, starting to be more creative, having, Tony Khan take a little bit of a step back, perhaps. So I got word that in the next 3 to 4 months, somewhere around the fall, that AEW has made some inquiries about bringing over certain minds for the business to be creative for AEW that could then hinder what's going on in WWE. And if that's the case, and you get some of their really bright minds, and I told my source, I said, don't tell me the names. I don't want to know the names. And I said, give me a timeline. They said fall. And so if Tony Khan is really doing what you're saying that he's doing, because you see it, then the information that I got would feed right into that. Because Tony Khan, if he does it, kudos to him for realizing I can't write this show myself. I should not write this show by myself. And if you're WWE, we've seen no matter how many people are in that room, probably 12 or 15, if you lose 3 or 4 of your best, that could be debilitating, Vince, if that happens.
Yeah, and listen, what's fall? We're talking about NFL. We're talking about Jaguars. We're talking about there's going to be more work for Tony as far as that is concerned. I would love to see Tony turn the reins over. Trust people that know what they're doing creatively. Let's get different eyes on it, and let's see what we come up with. Coach, people in that role, Triple H, Tony Khan, it's hard for them to let go, man. It's just really, especially Tony. This is Tony's baby. This ain't Triple H's baby. This was created by Vince McMahon. This is Tony's baby. I understand that. But Coach, you and I both know sometimes you need to let go if you want to grow your business. And maybe he's starting to understand that. And if he is, I think that's a great thing.
I think that's a great point by you. The one thing that I've done in the last year or so, building up all the shows we do here at BTT, is realize I used to be incredibly selfish. And when you're building up, as you know, whether it's sports, doing ESPN or you have to be selfish almost to get to the top. And I realize now that I'm full-fledged middle-aged, that if I put enough really good, smart people around me, better than me, then that's going to make me look better and everything rises. That's why I do a show with you. That's why I do a show with Big Tommy. That's why I do a show on Stadium every single morning with people that are better than me. And I would also say this, Vince, that wrestling fans can flip on a dime. And PFL, we had a great event in South Africa on Saturday. Tons of momentum. And I saw 3 people that normally crush the PFL go, man, they're starting to get some momentum. All you need is 1, 2, 3, 4 good events. Now you're going. And in wrestling, it's less than that. You can start to feel people that after All In are saying maybe AEW is up to something good. So now, did they bring Roman Reigns back sooner than they wanted to? Are they going to turn Cody Rhodes heel sooner than they wanted to because of the perceived momentum that AEW and Tony Khan are starting to have?
And Coach, here's the beauty of it, because you talked a little bit about TNA earlier. Back in the day when TNA was starting to grow a little momentum, people forget, man, TNA was drawing over 2 million viewers a week on Spike. People like to forget that. But Coach, here's what we didn't have. We didn't have the money behind us. The Carter family were not the Khans.
Okay.
And that's the beautiful thing of this. Tony's got the money behind it. So if the product gets better, he can promote it more, market it more, advertising, PR. He's got the money behind it. So, hopefully he'll, like I said, like you said, hopefully he'll release the reins a little bit. Let's see what other people can do.
And also start to utilize things on the periphery of what's going on. As we know, we'll talk about it on the Thursday episode, but Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out this Friday. Who's one of the main stars in Happy Gilmore 2? MJF. And if I'm AEW, I am lighting up everything I have to make MJF a bigger star than I am right now. I'm going to turn him into Roman Reigns of the WWE. And Vince, I had a soundbite I saw from Adam Sandler. He called MJF
I
like a
saw it.
son to him.
Yeah, I saw it. Yep.
Wow. If you don't use all of that, Vince, as a writer, aren't you writing this into every single promo, show, whatever? This is going to be one of the biggest movies of the year. I don't care if it's on Netflix, but to have MJF be the son, literally and figuratively, oh, you got to use that.
Well, you see, Coach, again, we're going back to one of the highest ratings AEW ever had was when Shaq was on the show. Here's the problem. You talk about Shaq, you talk about Adam Sandler, the niche AEW audience, they're 100% against that. That's what they don't want. They don't want entertainment. They don't want Adam Sandler. They want 20, 25-minute wrestling matches. So Tony is in a position where, brother, you can keep going down the same road and keep doing what you're doing. But if you really started putting more on a concentration of people not watching your product, and Happy Gilmore 2 is going to be huge on Netflix. So, Coach, WWE will probably drop down to 31 once Happy Gilmore comes out. It's going to be huge, man. And if you want to grab those people watching Happy Gilmore, like Coach said, you're going to use MJF. But now at that point, we're not catering to the mark audience anymore. You got to make a decision here.
To me, it's plan B, and there's no question about it. And in the petty award of the week goes to WWE, because they have requested a trailer without MJF in it to run on their program, because Becky Lynch is in it, and there's some other cameos, but he's one of the main characters. Yeah. So I mean, how petty do you have to be? How petty do you have to be to request that when, oh, I don't know, everybody knows that AEW exists. Everybody knows that WWE is absolutely ridiculous. All right, we'll put a pin in that. Coming up on the other side, we're about halfway home here on the Coach and Bro Show. Mental health in pro wrestling. It's never been more important than right now. We'll discuss that on the other side. It's the Coach and Bro Show right here, as always, on Stadium. Oh, good show so far. Thank you, all. The chat is absolutely popping. Keep that going. Keep the conversation going. Super stickers, we're collecting them. Producer man will have them to me shortly. We'll do all of them at the end of the recording. All right, segment number 3. You guys are amazing. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody, to the Coach and Bro Show here on the Stadium Network. I am the Coach. My partner, as always, from Russo'sBrand.com, Vince Russo. And Vince, I love this show because we do everything different from every other wrestling show out there. We like to talk about the bigger topics, but when you're talking about the business and the life of pro wrestling, I don't think we focus on the realness of it enough. And there are 2 stories that have been going around. One is really new, the other one a few weeks, that I thought it'd be pretty cool for us to discuss this, because I went through some of this during my first run. And on Monday, as we were preparing for the show, Elena Black, her stage name is Cora Jade. She put out on Instagram that she's taking a break from wrestling for the foreseeable future. Quote, "It's no longer good for my mental health, and I'll never know if that love for it I once had will return if I don't step away," end quote. Pat McAfee, the very unique star that did the Monday Night Raw with Michael Cole a few weeks ago, just disappeared from WWE, and Raw said, "Hey, I'm exhausted. I've had it. I can't keep going at this pace." And even though I do think there's more to it, the fact that he acknowledged it and that he's doing something about it, I think for both of these, I give a tip of the cap. And Vince, you and I both, whenever we have something else, what's the first thing? Go do it. Go do it. Because you got to have your mental health. What did you make of these 2 stories in the last month, really kind of taking center stage?
Yeah, Coach, I don't talk too often about this, but Coach, when I left the WWE at its peak to go to WCW, Coach, I moved my entire family there. My kids were still in grade school and high school. I moved the entire family from Connecticut to Atlanta. I'm literally there, Coach, for 3 months, and then politics kicks in, and the next thing I know, after 3 months, I am sitting at home. Coach, I am telling you, man, I went into the deepest, darkest depression, and I literally did not leave my basement because all I could think about and all I felt guilty about and horrible about was what I did to my family. To uproot my 3 children for the wrestling business, knowing something like this could happen. For years and years and years, I beat myself up over that, and it is not healthy. And we know, Coach, we know with a lot of wrestlers today, Coach, we know it. It's WWE or bust. And in Cora Jade's in her situation, you know, Coach, once they make it to the WWE and then they're let go by the WWE, Coach, they could be 22, 23 years old, and in their mind, they've already reached their pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
No, you haven't. You have not. You've got your entire life, and if you have confidence in yourself, and if you know how good you really are, you got to take the point of view that it's their loss and not your loss. And sometimes, like she's doing, like McAfee's doing, Coach, you know, you need to take a couple of months, get away from it, clear your head. And during that time, man, there's going to be a lot of healing, and you're going to really realize and understand there's a lot more opportunity in the business and in a career than just the WWE.
Some of my favorite stories, period, in the wrestling world is stories of those who got out. The other day I talked to Kane, who's now in politics in Tennessee. You've got guys like my boy Todd Grisham, who was in for a long time, and he's the voice of DAZN. He does all the big boxing fights. And I think sometimes we focus on guys that stay in the wrestling business for so long because they believe, where else am I going to go? What else am I going to do? And then they stay in this mental headspace for so long. And as I think back, and you and I have discussed this from time to time, and we look at the things that we said yes to, and we go, man, if I say no, I'm going to get crushed. My career's over. And where do I go from there? What do I do? And you don't realize, because I realized this when I got to ESPN, that I have a lot of talent, that I'm pretty good at stuff, that there are things you can take out of the wrestling business and take it into something else. And if I'm Cora Jade or if I'm Pat McAfee, McAfee was already a star. But for him to say, I'm exhausted, even though this was one of his dreams, my guess is that based off of his financials, that WWE, knowing them like I know them, that announcers are not revered. Announcers are not paid a lot of money, even if your name is Pat McAfee. So when you're making $90 million over at ESPN, and then all of a sudden WWE is using you for way more than what you signed up for, that could mentally exhaust you. Mm-hmm. And they were asking him to use his show on ESPN to put all of those WWE wrestlers on, which was smart business. But Vince, you got to pay me. Mm-hmm. You got to pay me if I'm going to go out on the road, away from my small child, away from my wife, who clearly supports him and his building of that gigantic brand that he has. But Vince, he has 14 people that work for him. And when you're taking care of 14 people and paying them a full-time salary, that can get mentally debilitating. Yeah. And I think that's what happened to him, because it's private jets. It's every day. He got his college game day coming up. I shudder and I laugh when people on social media say, Coach, shut up. They're not going to rehire you again.
Coach, I have to tell you, man, I keep in contact through DMs on X with, current talent at the WWE. And Coach, after conversing with them, I sit back and I'm just witnessing and seeing broken people. Mm-hmm. And I just, when I'm done having the conversation, I always ask myself the question, why are you putting yourself through that. You know, WWE, Coach, you can vouch to this. They have a way of making you believe. It's a very slow brainwashing process, but over time, they got a way of making believe without us, you're nothing. And you've got nothing. They make you believe that. But my God, like Coach said, we've seen people strive once they've left the WWE. The handcuffs are off. Their creative freedom is let loose, and they can do whatever they want to do.
I was doing a show the other day with Matt Cardona, and he's been the poster child. And it's easy to say, well, he's one in a million. But you can follow his game plan for what happened to him when he got fired as Zack Ryder. He could have gone over in the corner, sat in the fetal position, and been done. And he said himself, instead of doing that, let me use the WWE just like they used me. Now, with all that being said, most of them are making a nice living. All the, by the way, all the numbers from 20 years ago, you know, one of those websites posted them, and they had my salary from 20 years ago. And somebody texted me, I go, whoa, Coach, you were underpaid. I said, why do you think I left? Why do you think I left? But it really is a situation where I try to take the good memories out and leave the bad memories. But every time I talk to my mom, who has not in very good health, she'll be 80 next April. And there was one Christmas where I was in Salina, Kansas, 3 hours from the closest airport. And I get a call from Kevin Dunn. Hey, Coach, we got to have you come back tomorrow. I said, tomorrow's Christmas Day. Yeah. Like, didn't even faze him. Yeah. And I was like, but I'm in Salina, Kansas. Oh, no, we'll make it up to you. I said, how are you going to do that? Well, we'll send you for 3 days wherever you want to go in the United States, because you don't have to go to Monday Night Raw because you're filming something with Vince at the headquarters. So I said, so a 3-day trip to Orlando or Miami is going to make up for missing Christmas Day with my parents and my. Yeah. But I did it, Vince. Yep. I did it. Yep. And it's so easy to say, stand up for yourself. Well, when you're 28 or 29 and you're making six figures, not super high, but six figures, you are brainwashed into believing, where are you going to go? What are you going to do? And that's a horrible mental place to be in.
You know, Coach, I have to tell you, man, I cannot tell you when my boys were younger, I cannot tell you how many Saturdays I would be sitting in a movie theater with my boys and I would get that dreaded call. And, you know, Coach, here's what I used to deal with. I could never explain to Vince McMahon, Vince, I am spending time with my sons. It is father time now. And I could never get into that conversation with him, Coach, simply because I knew he couldn't comprehend that.
No.
Well, how do you have a conversation with Vince McMahon about the importance of family? It literally would be like talking to a brick wall. So that's why I was always in a position where I'm like, family means nothing to him. If I literally said, Vince, this is my time with my kid, he couldn't comprehend that, Coach.
Vince, I have said so many times, I can't even think about what it's like to be a part of the McMahon family, because I have two children that are my everything. You are the same. And if I am worth, it doesn't even have to be $6 billion. Hell, it could be $6 million. And I sell my company because I don't want my children to get it on my way out the door. What kind of relationship must you have in order to do that?
Yeah.
And then the flip side, you've got your own daughter who, mine just texted me, Dad, do you mind if I use your American Express to get my nails done? And I said, you're asking this time? And your own daughter votes you out at the company. What kind of relationship must you have for that to happen? Coach, it's sad to me.
I don't think people understand what it costs to get nails done. Lighten people up. Lighten people up how much pedicure. I cut promos. Every time I see that pedicure on my American Express, I go absolutely ballistic.
Well, for you, it's about nanny time. For me, it's about my daughter actually wanting to spend time with me at 17 years of
There
age.
you go.
I'll say depending on the dips, the dips, $50 to $80 is what it is.
It's a lot of money. Yeah.
So we're gonna put a pin in that. On the other side, we're going to Vince's old stomping grounds. That's right, Long Island, New York, TNA Slammiversary. This is the Coach and Bro Show right here on Stadium. Having such a great time today. I see the super stickers coming through. Producer man is collecting all of them. We'll get to all of yours coming up as soon as we are done with our last segment. Vince, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Here we go. All right, Coach and Bro continues here on Stadium. What a good show so far. We never just break things down from a segment by segment standpoint on Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, Collision, or whatnot. Vince, I got to ask you real quick, because I know now that I started my Sirius radio show, I have to watch a lot more wrestling than I probably would like to. And I know for you that SmackDown, when Sportskeeda said, hey, we want you to do a SmackDown show, what do you hate worse? Doing the show or having to watch SmackDown on a Friday night?
Oh, that's watching the show is far more worse than doing the review of the show. You know, Coach, I'm being totally honest, and people can hate on me all they want. When I am done watching SmackDown and when I am done watching Raw, I literally feel like I am an absolute idiot. Like you are watching a show that makes you feel like an absolute. Coach, they had one of these 8-man car crash tag teams on SmackDown. So, you know, Coach, it's the guy off the top and the 20 bowling pins down below. Coach, then you literally, the shot is all the guys, all of them, all 8 of them are on the floor on the outside. They're all on the floor down like dominoes. And Coach, you're literally watching them talk to each other. Okay, we're going to, okay. You literally see them talking to each other of what they're going to do next. And I'm watching this and I'm like, am I an idiot? Am I an absolute idiot to be watching this? I mean, Coach, that's where I really get angry. Because you're asking me to watch this show and you are insulting my intelligence. That's what makes me angry.
Vince, you need to stop it right now. You need to stop it right now. Because if you don't think that there's a world where 6 men get together on the outside and stand in a huddle so they can catch a dude coming over the top rope, doesn't make sense. You need to stop that right now. But I will tell you this, that Sunday night, in your old stomping grounds, a place that I believe you used to have businesses near the old Nassau Coliseum. Did you not?
I'm gonna tell you a Nassau Coliseum story when you're done, Coach. That'll blow your socks off. Go ahead, Coach.
All right. So Sunday night, TNA Slammiversary. You can say Bound for Glory is their biggest show of the year. This was the biggest show they've ever done. They had reportedly over 8,000 tickets sold. Absolutely amazing. But here's where I think they fumbled the ball. They have this whole partnership between NXT and TNA, correct?
Yes.
So they have Mike Santana, who is a New York guy, and he's in a triple threat with Joe Henry and Trick Williams. And then you have JC Jane, the NXT champion, in a winner's take-all against Masha Slamovich. So they decided that Santana, it could have been just put it on a silver platter. He wins, place goes bananas, win. Do you think they did that? No, they faked an injury 7 days or 6 days after Seth Rollins got hurt, or 8 days, so then the crowd's like, wait a second, are they really doing an injury angle here in the main event? The answer is yes. Santana does not go over. And then we find out in an interview with Gabby AF that Santino is going to go to NXT on Tuesday night. So they did it all for storyline purposes. And Vince, now both TNA titles are on NXT talent. So this whole partnership situation, is it even for TNA anymore?
Well, Coach, I'll tell you why I think it is for TNA, because this is what I'm sensing. I am sensing that TNA is relying on the relationship with the WWE to get them a streaming deal. So
Okay.
if they're relying on that, they're going to do whatever the WWE tells them to do. That's the only sense I can make out of this, that they feel it's the WWE name and the tie-in that's going to get them a streaming deal.
What if it's the other side of it? Because I did a show with Nick Nimitz the other day. He's part of the brain trust at TNA. They have we had probably 5 of their stars on last week, all of them raving about the locker room, raving about the vibe, raving about the attitudes. And he said, hey, we're getting close. We're getting close. What if it's just the opposite? We've seen how petty they can become with AEW, scheduling stuff on the same nights. What if they saw TNA starting to grow, starting to pick up momentum, and went into partnership with them so they can keep them from getting a streaming deal that would then play opposite Raw or SmackDown or any other NXT, whatever it is? Could that be? I hope not. I hope they wouldn't do that. But what if they are?
It absolutely could be, because again, Coach, when you're talking this level in wrestling, you can't trust anybody. You cannot trust anybody, and you cannot trust your partners. So I think I agree with you, Coach. Everything and anything is on the table. And we say this all the time when it comes to the WWE. We're talking about the greatest workers in the world. Now, who is the guy? I always forget his name. Who is the guy running TN?
Carlos Silva?
Yeah, Carlos Silva. Okay. Yeah. These wrestlers are workers for a living. This is what they do for a living. We've seen networks get worked. We've seen network executives at the highest level get worked. And that's the thing about wrestling, man. You cannot trust anybody, Coach.
No doubt about it. I think moving forward, and getting back very quickly to the Santana issue, Vince, sometimes I think wrestling companies just overthink everything. Just like Cody at WrestleMania. Sometimes just give the fans what they want.
Yes,
the crowd was red hot. Why could they not have just said, hey, Santana, here's the title.
Yep.
Congratulations. New York, thank you.
Absolutely.
And figure it out afterwards. Why can't we just do that sometimes?
Yeah, Coach, you know the times when you got to pay something off. You just know. You just know when it's you got to give them what they want. I mean, there are a lot of those moments, and at that point, you've got to give them what they want. I agree 1,000%.
No doubt about it. All right, we just have a couple of minutes left here on Stadium. Vince, by the time we do our Thursday show, we're going to be 9 days away from SummerSlam. It's not sold out. In fact, it's not even close to sold out. When you're in the New York City area and you don't sell out a 2-night show, what would be considered a success? 80%? 90%? What do you think it would be? Because right now they will never admit we're charging too much. But Vince, there's still a lot of tickets out there.
Yeah. It depends, Coach, because with the amount of with the price of tickets, what do they really need to sell where they deem it a success? Is it 80%? Is it 90%? I don't think it has to be a sellout where they're going to be happy just based on the price of tickets that they're charging.
They just want to say the highest grossing event. That's what they love to say now.
Yes, absolutely.
Can't remember the last time that they said highest attended event.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
Right? It's always highest grossing event. So we'll see. I mean, when you've got Cardi B, who's out here promoting the show now, as she did on Twitter earlier this week, that's when you know. I mean, we've got stars from all walks of life, Vince, that are promoting this thing. I can't wait. Do you hope that Cardi B performs? I know you're a big Cardi B fan.
Well, only if she performs with Megan Thee Stallion. If the two of them perform together, now we got something, Coach. Now we got something.
So do you know who? So Megan Thee Stallion is dating Klay Thompson, one of the Splash Brothers who played for the Golden State Warriors. All right. So you ask, how do I have a connection to Megan Thee Stallion? Yes. Can you ask me that question?
How? Well, I'm gonna assume. Going back to earlier in the show, your asses are similar.
No. Hers is no, it's not similar. But 2 years ago, because we only have 60 seconds left. It'll be a very quick story. 2 years ago, the first day my son broke 80, we were matched up with Klay Thompson at a local golf course, and we played together. And we have video, chest bumping. We may have even played Megan Thee Stallion music that day when my son broke 80 for the first time. So I'm connected to Megan Thee Stallion because of Klay Thompson.
Big time coach. Yes.
I mean, that's what they call me. Vince, well done today. Well done, as always. Do not forget, we are here every single Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, repeated on Thursday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, then a brand new episode on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time as well. Remember, be a wrestling fan as a fan and enjoy it for what it is. This is the one and only Coach and Bro Show, as always, right here on Stadium. You crazy kids, as we collect all of the super stickers that are coming through. Vince, I know that you had a quick Long Island story you wanted
Coach,
to share.
This is going to blow you away.
I want to hear it. Let's go.
Coach, I'm 12, 13 years old. I was a big fan of the ABA. I was a big fan of the Nets playing at the Nassau Coliseum. Every Sunday we used to go to visit my grandparents in West Hempstead. My parents would drop me off at the Coliseum by myself to watch the New York Nets play because they played afternoon games on Sunday. Coach, after the game, everybody, waiting for the player exits for autographs.
Is that the top of the big tunnel that comes up there?
Yes.
That's where you're waiting? Okay,
yes.
Got it.
And back then, people are not going to remember these names, but the Whopper, Billy Paultz, Larry Keenan, John Williamson, Brian Taylor, all the Nets are coming out. Coach, I'm waiting on one guy.
The doctor?
I'm waiting.
The doctor?
I'm waiting on the doctor.
I need the doctor.
Coach, people are starting to file out. No doctor. They're leaving. Coach, not me. I'm standing my ground, Coach.
You're sticking in it.
It's just me now, Coach.
Oh, no.
Coach, it was like Moses parting the Red Sea. Afro out to here. Sunglasses. Mink coat. Me and the doctor. He's
one-on-one.
Walking right towards me. Coach, I do the Ralph Cramden. Humna, 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 humna. And I say, doctor, can I please have your autograph? Doctor says, come with me, kid. Walk me to my car. Me and the I'm 12, 13 years old, Coach. Me and the doctor alone walking to the doctor's car. Coach, now that is a memory I will never forget as long as I live.
We're going to give all the money back for the super stickers. We're going to end the show right now. I cannot continue. You and the doctor one-on-one.
Me and the doctor. I'm 12. It had to be like 73. I'm probably about 12 years old. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Still the greatest nickname of all time in the NBA. The greatest nickname of all time. Yes. That's a great story. Yes. All right, Vince, we have a lot of stickers to get.
Let's do it.
A lot of stickers to get. Now we're starting with the smartest mark alive. Yes. And we know that anything over 20 is a main event, right? So 50 is now a main event. So this would be a co-main event. This is a co-main event.
Well, also keep in mind, Coach, this is Carmine. He was one of the three on last week's show. This is Carmine. Yes.
So he understands how you get to the front of the line. He
yes,
gets
sir. Yes,
so
sir.
Carmine, if you guys want to be what Carmine did last Thursday, you guys know what time it is. So he says in 2025, content is king. And after Slammiversary, it's more evident than ever that WWE are buying TNA. They will then own every mainstream wrestling library and trademark to monetize in the world outside of AEW and New Japan. What do you think about that?
I don't think that's far-fetched at all, Coach. I don't think it's far-fetched at all. Say the WWE is instrumental in them not getting a television deal. Now, if I'm TNA, what do I have? What do I have?
You can't. They cannot rely on the app to get to where they want to go, because you won't be able to afford talent if you don't have the money coming in.
That's
from.
Right.
I mean, AEW got around 180 million. I know the number's a little inflated, but even still, let's say because part of that money I found out, Vince, for AEW, by the way, is factoring in the promotion they get on other shows on TNA, TNT, and TBS. So when they say 180 million, say they get 20 million in free advertising, they put that into the number to make it sound bigger. So, but even then, say they get 120 million, Vince, they're already doing the shows, they're already touring. That'd be 120 million they can put into talent and maybe get a talent to stay instead of always using it as a stepping stone to get somewhere else. And I think that would be the reason the WWE would not want them to get a big streaming deal, because then now you can stand on your own.
Yeah,
if you can stand on your own and keep an AJ Styles or something like that, now it's a completely different animal. Completely different animal. One of our faves, by the way, Smartest Mark Alive is a premium member. Nonsense McGee is a premium member, but still weighs in with a co-main. $500 million a year equals 52 weeks of content plus everything else, which is a steal compared to how much mainstream TV and film costs. Plus, they haven't started maximizing yet. Unreal, etc. But what do I know? LOL. Trying to think of how I address this with nonsense. He's not wrong that, I mean, for example, CBS just canceled The Late Show. It's got the #1 ratings of anybody, and we come to find out The Late Show, Vince, did you know how many employees they have working on a 1 hour 11:30 show or 10:30 at night show?
No.
Guess how many employees they have on The Late Show?
Gosh, bro, I want to say 100.
200 people.
Wow.
And everybody's ripping CBS. I used to work for CBS, and I was like, wait a second. He's making $16 million in salary, Stephen Colbert, and they're paying 200 people salaries. Wow. Well, there's no way he could make money. So he is right in that aspect. But I think what we were looking at when showing the ratings and how many people are paying for it, Vince, they want people watching this all the time so they can adjust and pivot and change over the 10 years. Not say, okay, they're 30th, we're good with it. Yeah. That means there aren't enough people coming and subscribing to you, new subscribers.
Yeah, and on top of that, it has been trending in the wrong direction for the first 6 months. The first 6 months, guys, it's been trending. So if it continues to trend down,
normally things don't turn around if they get off. XFL says, we'd like to talk to you on line 1. XFL back in the day, huge first week, and then fell off a cliff. Off a cliff. Nonsense. Thank you very much. We've got a curtain jerker. Darren Walker says Cody Rhodes was getting booed out of buildings weekly in AEW, but he refused to turn heel in AEW. That was when Rhodes' reality show came out. Well, that would make a lot of sense, because when you're trying to sell a reality show and you want people to watch it, you either want to be a super cool heel, Vince, or you got to be a super over babyface.
Coach, I got to throw this at you, though, because I'm wondering this. We're always seeing Cody with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
We are always seeing him with the kids. He is like the champion of the kids. Do you think there needs to be a convincing of him turning heel, or do you think he's just going to go with it?
I think Cody is as big of a team player as there has ever been. And I was thinking about that today, that, last year, the story of he rented his own car during a 10-day European trip for the simple fact of staying after for an hour and signing autographs for the fan bases that came to Brussels for the first time ever. So those type of things are important. At least they are to me. And I know they are to Cody. So getting him convinced that this is what we need as a company, I think it might take some doing. I really, really do. What do you think?
Well, I'm saying it based on my experience with Bill Goldberg. When we wanted to turn Bill Goldberg heel, I mean, this is exactly what I went through, and it was an absolute nightmare. Now, Cody has shown he's a team player. I mean, I'm not comparing Cody to Bill in any way, shape, or form, but I'm just asking because this is exactly what I had to deal with when I was at WCW.
I can't wait for next week, because his NDA, which he says is 2 weeks after Saturday night's main event, which was July 12th. So it'd be the 26th. And apparently he says, I'm going to say a lot more. Give me the content, Goldberg. Give me the content, because he continues. I don't know what he's going to say, but you know it's going to say. If he's bragging about it, you know it's coming, Vince. And you know we're going to talk about it right here.
Tony Khan's going to sign him, Coach.
Oh, my God. What if they made him a main eventer?
Tony Khan is going to sign Bill Goldberg. After this FDA, and he speaks his mind, and he's not satisfied with the way things, you know that phone call's coming from Tony.
Wow. I'm trying to comprehend that right now. So this is by the way, this is a new feature.
Oh, I like this. What is this,
yeah.
Coach? Explain this to me.
So what this is YouTube has this new feature. I want to make sure I get it right. That shows the top fans in the chat. Okay. Based off of commenting, stickers, engagement, it rates our fans 1 and on down. So I don't know about you, Vince, but I'm competitive. And if I was in the chat, if I'm a fan of the Coach and Bro Show, I would want to have my name number 1 on that list.
Yes.
But you got to be active.
Yes.
You got to be active.
Yeah.
Like, look at Nonsense McGee. He's right there at number 2.
Right there. Right. Knocking on the door. Knocking on the door. 25 XPs behind.
That's what I'm talking about. So keep them coming. You guys, if you're active, you can climb up that list right there. We're innovative here. Do you know any other pro wrestling shows that do anything? Of course not.
Not at all. Very interactive with the fans. Yes.
All right. We have a pre-show, as I like to call it. Michael Orr says, character waving their hand saying, me, 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 me. Michael, very funny. You're right. Matt Heaton, curtain jerker, says, I come to Coach and Bro because this is a no mamby-pamby zone. Disco and Conan suck. Agreed. Sing it, Coach and Bro. This is awesome. Ole, ole, ole.
Ole, ole, ole. And meanwhile, Matt Heaton, I think, was number 4 on that list.
He's going to rise. He's going to rise.
Yes.
I don't know if the algorithm factors in getting hosts to sing, but you never know. You never know. All right. One of the first ever main eventers last Thursday has a curtain jerker. Jimmy Fingers.
Jimmy Fingers, number 6. Number 6 with a bullet.
There you go. He outed my beautiful tush.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yes.
It was him. It was him. Yes. I'm not going to hold it against him. I'm not upset about it. Jimmy says, I'm hearing the alpha male Monty Brown is crashing SummerSlam. Coach, what do you know? What's Monty Brown? Do you know what that is?
Oh God, Monty Brown was a TNA original when I was there, and he was a great talent, former football player. I loved Monty Brown, but Jimmy, he's got to be my age now, right? He's got to be 60-something years old, I would think.
Probably so.
Yeah.
I went through, I think from 2008 when I left WWE and went to ESPN, I don't think I watched wrestling for at least 5 years.
Yeah.
At least 5 years.
Yeah.
I had somebody send me a video and they said, hey, Coach, what was it like to work with Cody Rhodes in the WWE? I said, I've never worked with Cody Rhodes in the WWE. Vince, do you know they sent me a pre-tape of a show with me, the old man, and Cody Rhodes in a pre-tape?
Wow, that's crazy.
How does my mind not remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, they're moving. There's movement. There's movement, Vince. Oh, Jimmy Fingers numbers. Okay, you guys are moving right now. Another one. Jimmy Fingers wants to be number 1.
Yes.
He says, Vince, was Raisha Saeed as beautiful as I imagined her under the black veil when she was managing Awesome Kong? She used to put me in a trance with those eyes.
Yeah, Jimmy, that was a cheerleader Melissa, man. I don't know what happened to cheerleader Melissa, but one of the sweetest, nicest human beings I ever worked with. And yes, she was absolutely beautiful, Jimmy. Yes.
You know, one of my favorite stories from, because I get fans all the time. Well, what was this diva like to be around? Was this person as pretty as you remember? One of my favorite stories when I was in Kansas City, and I was only there for 8 months total, so I'd only there 4 months. I'd been there when Owen Hart fell from the Raptors, obviously tragically, and then 4 months later, the very first SmackDown was in Kansas City. I've told this story many times, but the part of the story that I remember probably the most was when they said, we're going to bring Shawn Michaels. And he had just married his wife that he's still married to today, who is one of the WCW Nitro girls.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember back then, this is 1999, so this is 26 years ago. They walked in the door of Channel 9 in Kansas City, Vince, and I kid you not, every person in the room, and this is a big newsroom that you see on TV, everything stopped. It was like, and I remember thinking to myself, if I'm Shawn Michaels, you know, some dudes are like super jealous. They're like, don't look at my girl or don't talk about my girl. I was like, if I'm Shawn Michaels, I'm like, yes, it's all me. It's all me. And I told him that one day.
Coach, do you want to hear something funny, man? You talk about dudes being jealous. Coach, before I was in the wrestling business, this has to go back to 81, 83, something like that. I owned video stores.
Uh-huh.
And at one of my video stores, I had Jake Roberts make an appearance. He brought his wife, Cheryl, with him.
Okay.
So I had this whole snake pit set up for Jake. I had him sitting in there. Cheryl was sitting behind the counter like with us, and people would come over to talk to Cheryl. Bro, Jake started fighting my customers. Yeah. For talking to his wife, Coach, at a video store, Coach. Yes.
Rule number one, just get him in the door. Just get them in the door.
Yes, I'll never forget that. Oh, my God.
No questions asked.
Yes.
All right, number 3 on our YouTube most popular right now is Ghost World Order, and he's coming through with a mid-carder. Sportskeeda did a Mount Rushmore with Cena, Rock, Austin, and question mark. How do you do a top 4 and Hulk Hogan don't get mentioned? What do you think about that? I'll be honest. I don't care if his name's ever mentioned ever again on anything. Ever. I just don't like Hulk. I mean, I've always gotten along with him, but when somebody at their core is a hateful human being, and as a black man, everybody should know what that is. I'm okay with people not including him because then you have to talk about events. And I don't want to talk about him next to guys that I respect and like Austin, Rock, Cena. And maybe that's a personal thing to me, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah, it's hard, man, because, you know, again, Hogan did put wrestling on the map. He did, man. He's done a lot of bad, awful things. But you can't deny that he really did put wrestling on the map.
Oh, there's no doubt, and I would never argue that. I never would argue that.
I know what you're saying. Yeah,
you know, but to me, when you're talking Mount Rushmore, to me, it's about the whole thing. And in wrestling, it's, you know, right? It's not just about the 10 years from 83 to 93. Because in wrestling, you can last 40 or 50 years doing something.
Coach, are you looking at who took over the leaderboard?
Oh, Jimmy Fingers.
Jimmy Fingers with a bullet sitting on top. Look at that, Jimmy. Huh?
It's going to be something they brag about every single week.
Yes.
I was number 1 today on coaching, bro. I mean, it rolls off the tongue. Who's going to beat Jimmy on Thursday? That begs the question.
Yeah.
It begs the question. All right. I think we've gotten to all. Who am I kidding? I say that, and pretty soon, here they come because everybody wants to be number 1. All right. Jimmy Fingers got to number 1 with a mid-carder here, Vince. Vince, I tried to record a promo. I got cut on me from Mrs. Fingers. It was for the dribble, but it wasn't on the floor. It came out like a V and missed the hopper completely. Maybe a little too much information there, Vince.
I'm trying to follow this. I tried to record a promo. I got cut on me.
But he peed on the floor, Vince.
He peed on?
Yeah, he peed on the floor. Peed on the floor.
Wow. I got to admit, listen, Jimmy, do what I do. Jimmy, listen. Jimmy's a little younger than I, Coach. I'm about to get all mamby-pamby on you, Coach. Coach, I sit when I pee. I got no problem with that. I got no problem with sit. I don't stand and pee. I'm too old to stand and pee, Coach. I sit when I pee. There you go, Jimmy. That'll solve that problem.
So Vince, something's happening that I had a feeling was going to happen. Now our best fans are competing.
Oh boy.
To get to the top.
Winner take all.
Smartest Mark alive says, "Let the games begin." Nonsense McGee. Let the games begin. Then Nonsense says, with a curtain jerker, "One more extra point boost." Ha ha.
Wow.
Now they're figuring out, how do I climb the ladder? Scott says, from Scott,
It's getting ugly.
Scott wants to climb the ladder. Jimmy Fingers is back. Now, I mean, this is just, I
Yeah,
can't make this up.
It's getting ugly in here, Coach.
It is getting ugly up in here. Vince, did Vanessa Del Rio ever make an appearance at one of your video stores?
I'm not sure who that is. Is that an adult film star? Who's Vanessa Del Rio? I don't know who that is.
I don't know. It's not. I only know an Alex Del Rio.
I don't know who that. Jimmy, I don't know who that is. Jimmy, smart me up.
Yeah, Jimmy. I mean, Jimmy right now, he's number one with a bullet. So then you got Nonsense McGee, smartest Mark alive. Scott just said he's living, I believe these are pounds. So Scott from Scott is also a premium member. So we got premium members. I mean, this is going to get ugly. If we have to do this every single show, I guess we got to do this every single show.
We got to do, Coach.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, and wouldn't you know it, we waited long enough. We got now. All right, so now we got to wait because producer man has to. Vince, what if we have like 10 people in a show that just try to one up each other with stickers and just try to? What are we supposed to do with that?
So producer man has to calculate all this now. Is that what?
No. It does it on its own.
Oh, it does it on its own.
It's about engagement. And here it comes. I have the text message.
Oh, we got a new tally.
All right, so we have a new one to the board. Aquarian Ninja 89.
Wow.
Here's the question. Hey Vince, my favorite heel segment of you was in WCW when you were at Ric Flair's house. When you flew yourself on his bed, that was hilarious. How did Rick feel about you doing that?
Yeah, no, he was a good sport, man. That was actually Rick's house. That was actually his bedroom and his bed. And that was a lot of fun. Very, very memorable, man. He was cool with it.
I have so many Ric Flair stories that I absolutely love. Some of them, I've got to wait till I'm like 80 to write a book and then put them in because he'll probably be gone, but I hope by the time I'm 80. Yeah. All right. So one of my favorites, Kimberly White, she's a premium member. She said, yes, you do, but watch out because I'll give the guys a run. Oh, no. Kimberly White is starting to step into the arena.
And I want to say this too about Kimberly. I mean, Coach, Kimberly was cheerleading in the chat while we were doing the show, telling everybody to like the show and follow. I mean, she was really doing a lot of cheerleading. I appreciate that, Kimberly. Thank you.
We're starting to get a lot of the same people for every show, which means the world to me because I try to make these shows fun, interactive, no matter what the show is. And so Kimberly watches everything, which is awesome. Yeah. And that's why we do these shows. It's awesome. We'll make you guys treat. Hey, Nonsense, if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to, we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it. I know we have one more coming in. Do not forget that we have another show on Thursday. Around 5 p.m. Eastern time. And if you want to come onto the show in person, on video, Vince, they can do that on Thursday. Scott, I don't know where what's a dollar, Vince? Is a dollar, that's not even a curtain jerker. What is that?
Yeah, I think it kind of gets you in the conversation, though. A dollar, it'll get your foot in the door. Coach, I do want to say this because there was a little change in schedule because, again, I'm seeing the grandkids. Thursday will be 5:30 this week. It's a 5:30 week this week.
I thought you were gone this week.
No, next week. Next week I'm gone. Yeah, this is a 5:30 week though. This
5:30 p.m. Eastern time. Yes. I'll tell my people. We'll see if that'll fly. Yeah. I think Jimmy Fingers might have the number one spot locked down.
I thought so.
He says, Vince, Vanessa Del Rio was in the same era as Marilyn Chambers.
Yes.
Did you have an X section in your video store?
Hey, I have to be honest with you, Jimmy. The only movies we made money on were the X-rated films because they They were the cheapest to buy, and you could charge the most. And we had the curtain, coach. We had the whole 9 yards, coach.
So you had the curtain when I was at ESPN in Bristol. So I lived in, it was right next door. They opened one of those stores like in the main drag, and there was such an uproar from the locals. You know, I've got kids. My kids are in school. Do you know that parking lot was jammed all day, every day?
Yeah.
All I ever did was drive past it. I never stopped. Hitesh says, Vince, us about your favorite memories of WWF in the 60s and the 70s. How much of a fan were you of Bruno, Billy Graham, Andre? Graham was amazing. Good question.
Hatish, all of those guys, man. Superstar Billy Graham, the Valiant Brothers, Ernie Ladd, Stan Hansen, Don Leo Jonathan. I was a huge fan of that era of wrestling. Chief J, Ivan Putski, you name it.
Obviously, I'm a lot younger than you. I think I'm half your age, probably. I will say this: that a lot of the older guys, when they'd come back for WrestleMania or whatever, they'd have a lot of them come to WrestleMania. I'll never forget the moment that I met Kamala, the Ugandan Giant, and this is part of the reason I get so fired up when they give the business away, because as a kid, Kamala, the Ugandan Giant, was a staple. On Saturday night's main event, on Saturday morning wrestling, all of that. So I walk in the door and he's in one of the locker rooms, and I walk around the corner and he's putting his makeup on. And I remember thinking, on TV, he couldn't speak English. He had a handler. So I'm hoping that he starts to bark at me, whatever language like he speaks in. So I walk around the corner and I look, and he looks up and goes, "Hey, coach, what's going on? Nice to meet you." I went, no,
Very nice.
no,
Very nice. Yeah.
not Kamala, not the Ugandan Giant.
That's awesome.
So
awesome.
I'll never forget that. I will never forget that. Vince, I think that's it.
Wow.
I think we've done all the damage.
Do we have a final tally?
Producer man, where are we at on who wins? I think Jimmy fingers with but
it was close, though. It was close.
Right. So Jimmy's at, what is it? I can't even tell the number.
1,500.
All right, so 1,500. Nonsense is 1,400. Okay. So I'm going to talk to producer man so I know exactly how it works, but I think it's a combination of stickers, comments, interaction, all that kind of stuff in the chat.
That's awesome, man. Thank you guys so much. That is awesome, man.
I think what we need to do is come up with some type of a music full screen to congratulate whoever wins every single show. I think that would be cool.
Absolutely.
Would be cool.
Absolutely.
So let's put more on producer man's plate. He's not doing enough already.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
All right, Vince, 5:30 on Thursday, correct?
Yes.
5:30 Eastern time on Thursday. All right, that's going to do it for today. You guys are amazing. We continue to add content. You continue to embrace it. We can't thank you enough. That'll do it for now. For my man, Vince Russo, for producer man behind the scenes, I am simply the coach. We'll see you on Thursday. Don't forget, you can watch this episode Wednesday night on Stadium. We'd appreciate your viewership there as well. Until then, have a great day. Take care.